We've been burgled, yeah. We've been robbed. I don't know what the hell is going on. Somebody's jimmied this lock. I knew I should put that ring camera in. It's all gone. They've literally taken everything. So at 10 to 7 this morning, I was just driving past on my way to the gym. And I saw that the door was just ajar like this. Right, so I've just turned up and the roller shutter door is open and the front door is open. And I thought, that's weird, surely the construction guys have not left the door open. So I've swung past just to have a look, and at this point my stomach just went. I was like, oh no, I know what's happened. We've been burgled, yeah. We've been robbed. Flipping out. So I've gone in, and then in here is where all of our cables and a load of tools were being stored, and everything's gone. Literally, there was all of the data cables piled up there. There was loads of drums of other cables and electrical materials and tools. Bizarrely, there's just one thing that hasn't gone, which I opened it up earlier. They've not taken this Hilti laser. The copper pipes here that were just installed yesterday, the air conditioning guys had all of the rest of the copper pipes laid out, ready to go in. They've all been taken. There was a pile of cable on here as well, and these boards were on top of it, and they've just flipped the boards off and taken all of these big drums of cable. There was £15,000 worth of cable here, specialist cable. Oh, and here's Mike from Residual, because they left some of their stuff here. Hey, Mike.
Hello, mate. You right?
Yeah, just filming, actually, just documenting this whole thing. Have you thought about what you had here?
I think we left like a combi drill, a multi-tool. I almost left the camera there, so I'm so lucky. I'm so happy that I didn't.
Yeah. They obviously knew about the Hilti trackers, so they've literally ripped the Hilti Bluetooth tags off. Yeah, the Hilti nail gun is still here, amazingly, with its battery, but it does have Bluetooth built into it. Yeah. Oh yeah, thank goodness. I thought they'd just trimmed the ends off the cables, but they haven't. The cables, all the cables that you guys have put in so far are still in and intact, at least. But ping me a list of what you did leave here, and then when we do the insurance claim, we'll put that on.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
So that was Mike from Residual Electrical Contractors, who's been helping us with the electrics here. They did put a lot of cable in already, but most of it's just the small stuff, the cheap stuff. You know, all of the big stuff like the heavy armored cables, the EV Ultras, the PV Ultras, all the really expensive cables have been stolen. And what's so frustrating about it is that I know exactly what they're going to do with it. They're going to just scrap it in. And the scrap value of EV Ultra and PV Ultra is next to nothing, but they're expensive cables because they're so complex in the way that they're constructed. So, you know, they might be worth 30 £30 a meter, and they're going to scrap it in for £1 a meter or something like that. And it's just like so soul destroying. And I guess, you know, there's all these lovely brand new cables on these drums, and they're probably just going to rip them off the drums and take them to scrapyard and get a few £100 for them. It's just disgusting.
So they did that, they've rammed that into there to move that.
Oh my goodness, yeah, they've literally they've used the scissor lift to ram the forklift out of the way. So I hope the forklift still works. They've come in, shoved everything out of the way to try and make room for their vans, reversed their van in, and just loaded the van with all of the cables and tools. So I've called the police and reported it. I did actually call 999, but they said unless the thief is there, it's not classed as an emergency. So I had to call 101 and report it. There is forensic evidence here like this. This is oil from the van that pulled in. There are tyre tracks here as well from where the van reversed in to load the tools on. And there's bound to be fingerprints, handprints around. So I'm really hoping with the forensic evidence and the video footage that we might actually be able to catch the people who did this. And now we're just waiting for the forensic team from the police department to come and actually see what they can find out. So for me, the saddest thing is actually not our stuff, it's the stuff from the other people who are working here on our behalf. The builders, the plumbers, the HVAC guys, they've all left things on site, particularly the builders. Darren and Nathan, their whole life's worth of power tools were here. It's just horrible. It's really horrible.
That's what we've just been saying. We've got loads of work on this weekend.
Oh yeah.
as homework.
Yeah.
As we've had to put that off and stuff like that. And there's like jobs we should have been. It's cost to end it. We've got a job. We're owed like $3,000 from a job. We can't finish it.
Yeah.
Because we ain't got tools to do it.
And the trouble is, you know that they'll be flogging them on a car boot sale for like 20 quid or whatever. So a massive shout out to Troy from Rhino Trade Insurance. They do our insurance. I called him at 7 o'clock this morning. He's actually on holiday, but he's just sent us £1,000 worth of tool vouchers for Screwfix, so that these guys from Preussy can just go and pick up some new tools and at least get enough tools to carry on the work. So thank you, Troy. Amazing. I think as a tradesperson, and this is horrible, but this is reality, you know it's going to happen to you at some point. You just don't know when. It's a plague, this whole tool theft thing. Burglaries in general. And this is just a combined tool theft, burglary disaster. It's really weird, but I've been losing sleep worrying that this was going to happen. Just in the last week, I bought a Ring doorbell and I was going to put it up yesterday and I just didn't get around to it because I was trying to find the right way to fix it to the door frame. I didn't want to screw into the door frame. It sounds so stupid now. For the sake of putting 2 screws in the door frame, it would have probably stopped this from happening, but I didn't want to ruin the door frame. Well, it's ruined now anyway, so. Yeah, if you can tape it up there. So we're just putting some tape over to basically attach this so that it covers the fingerprints, because there's a lot of fingerprints on the side of this door. Hopefully they're fingerprints from the burglars. And the forensics team from the police are supposed to come today. Who knows what time, but hopefully they will. So we just want to preserve as much evidence as we can. And my neighbour Gavin has got cameras. So we're going to see if we can find out who did this. If he's got any good footage, maybe that could be the key to solving who did this. So Gavin sent me the footage from his Nest camera that he's got next door. So this is the van, but it's very bad quality footage. And then he says, I've been through the rear camera. There are 2 people in black with hats that walk past at 7:59. They pass by a jogger in a red top going the other way, and one hides his head. So this is about 8 o'clock last night. According to Gavin, he reckons that there was a white van. Ah, look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, they go straight in. Look at that. Typical banged up white Transit. Oh, they've got gloves on. Look, they've got red gloves on. Now, I'm not a forensic guy, but these guys knew what they were doing. In fact, the builders said that they reckon they've seen this van driving around scoping the place in the last few days. So this is clearly a bunch of people who do this on a regular basis. They've got gloves on, they've got caps on. They knew exactly what they were doing. If there is anyone in our subscriber base who is a security expert, I'd really love to hear from you. I feel like I need some help to know what to do with this place to get it absolutely secured up to the hilt. So please reach out if you're an expert and you'd be able to help us. So these are the delivery notes for all of the cables. This is all the cable that we've lost, literally thousands of meters of cable. There was 2 pallets. All of these 100-meter drums of loads and loads of different cables. The EV Ultra 16mm 3-core, that is an expensive cable. That's about £5 worth of cable just for that one drum. It's just, I don't know what to say, honestly. I think I'm just in shock. Like, I just don't really know how to feel. So they would have come in on this road and then driven round, done the door, and then driven round to the roller shutter. So I'm just trying to see if there's any cameras that might have caught them on the way in or on the way out. Yeah, there's no cameras on here either, really. So the camera on this building ends just here, so we've not got any footage from the road. But there are a lot of other cameras around the estate, so we're gonna have to knock on more doors and see if anyone's got anything that might help.
Try that one.
Yeah.
And that one.
All we need is one shot with a clear registration number and we've got them, you know? How you doing?
Better than you, I'd imagine.
Yeah, really, really gutted.
Is this how they got in?
Yes, it is. So we just put this plastic over because it started raining and there was quite a lot of handprints on there, so we wanted to preserve those.
I mean, so they do look like fingerprints.
That's what I thought, yeah.
But they're this way.
Yeah.
Could do it.
They
that
might
way
be
from outside, I suppose, but then I expect to see something corresponding on the other part.
Yeah, sure. That's a really good tip though. So everyone who's got power tools should write down all of their serial numbers
Keep the
when they
serial
buy
numbers
them.
safe, yeah, because like I say, the biggest headache for us is like, yeah, we recover, you know, if I was to go down to our property system now, there's probably, I don't know, 30 or 40 DeWalt drills in there
Yeah.
that we've come across from various.
And I guess they only stay there a while until they get claimed. If they don't get claimed, you just have to sell them or something.
They don't claim to get auctioned off, I think.
Yeah. Anything for a building like this that you would suggest for securing it? Like, what can you do to avoid anyone from breaking in? What's the
bottom line is you can do as much as humanly possible.
Yeah.
You can make it like Fort Knox, but if they want in bad enough, they'll get in.
Yeah.
It's risk and reward.
Yeah.
So if they think the reward's high enough and outweighs the risk, then they'll still do it by whatever means. Potentially they would reverse straight through your roller shutter doors. So you could put bollards, raising bollards out there to stop that. But I've had them take angle grinders to doors and cut out holes and climb through. And the best deterrent is CCTV and a loud burglar alarm.
Yeah.
So it's going to be unbearable to stay in there. The other thing you can consider is once you've got the place secured, anywhere where you're going to have lots of tools and that, a smoke cloak, they're quite good.
Oh yeah, okay.
They're quite good. Yeah, because as soon as the alarm goes off, it'll just totally fill the room with smoke.
Wow, and
you
then
can't see your hand
it.
in front of your face. If you had a Ring camera and that had gone off at 8 o'clock when no one was here, you'd have looked at it and seen them, wouldn't you?
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, thanks. That's good tips. So I just had my fingerprints taken. As comparison, obviously. So they've got a couple of bits that they think might be fingerprints from the crime, but it's very, very small chance of any hope of actually getting DNA evidence or clear fingerprints from this. It seems like they were wearing gloves from the footage. I really do hope that we can catch the criminals though, but that's going to be a bit more of a challenge, I think. So share this video out with as many people as you can. You never know, maybe together at least we can help other people to avoid this from happening, or best case scenario, we manage to catch the criminals. I'm absolutely blown away by the responses that I've had on Instagram. I posted a little story this morning on Instagram just telling people what happened. And we've had so many offers of support and people just sending their sympathy. It's been amazing. We've got the lovely bakery who's in our village who've given us a load of lovely snacks to support. And I just wanted to thank everyone who's reached out to us. In fact, I've just got back to the office and Tom's just told me somebody's phoned and said they saw my Instagram post and they work with AI and like photo editing. And they've identified 2 registration plates from the video. None of them are registered, surprise, surprise, but it's just amazing to see how many people have offered support. So I just wanted to thank you all. And if you want to see some updates in future and company updates, worth following us on Instagram. That is comfort food. So amazing, thanks to Rhino Trade Insurance. The guys have got some replacement tools straight away. They were able to go to Screwfix and just pick up some basic power tools to replace some of the stuff that they've lost. I mean, they've lost way more than this, but at least this enables them to actually carry on working, which is really important. And then hopefully through the insurance claim, we can enable them to get everything else back. But it's just a nightmare, but I'm just so glad that I've got insurance. And massive shout out once again to Rhino Trade Insurance. And if you haven't got full insurance cover yet, I would really recommend it. And they've given me the opportunity to share with you guys a discount code, which is ART10. You'll get 10% off your insurance with Rhino Trade Insurance. So yeah, massive shout out to Rhino Trade, thank you. Well, we've managed to secure this place as best we can for tonight, but believe you me, this place is going to be like Fort Knox by the time we've finished with it. I'm never letting my guard down again like that. Now let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you had an experience like this? Let us know your stories and maybe together we can try and raise awareness to help this from happening to anyone else.